In our quest to make the most during the lockdown period, what I'm doing is I'm interacting with as many influencers as possible. And I came across this wonderful person who not only is an influencer, but also can probably lead us to a lot of example as far as personal life is concerned. I'll tell you why I'm saying this. But nevertheless, before we get into the conversation, let me welcome to you, the one and only Nivedit Gajavati. Nivedit, bye. You're looking very smart.
Thank you so much, Rohan. It's a pleasure to be part of this live. Looking forward to it.
You know, we all know that you're an influencer. You have 100 plus thousand followers and you have great collaboration. But one thing I really admire is the way you have maintained yourself. You know, so a lot of people, actually, including me, have made a lot of resolutions. We're going to do this during the lockdown period. You actually made a resolution and you accomplished it. How many kgs have you lost in this lockdown?
I think that's the only question I've been getting on all my social media channels. So
how the hell did you do that? That was the question technically. And why the hell am I not able to do it?
Yeah, so people have been saying we are cooking all good food and we are putting on weight, but what did you do? So I actually lost around exactly 33 kgs.
In how many days? Nivedit, in how many days?
It's been 14 weeks, exactly 14 weeks. So I started end of February 1st is when I started this. And then now, so most of it has been during the lockdown.
Wow. Wow. That speaks a lot about the man you are, okay? Because I have a great amount of respect to people who are actually fit. You know, you can earn money, you can earn fame, but physical fitness is something you actually have to slog your butt in order to get into shape. And that shows a lot of your temperament and your mental stability and how strong you are mentally. So congratulations on that. You're looking absolutely fantastic.
Like they say, health is wealth. And I just realized that now. So,
but you have health and you have wealth also now. We'll talk about the wealth part a little later. But tell us something about yourself, Nivedit, how it all started. Where are you from? What was the what was the dream behind all of this? Just tell us something about yourself.
Sure. Okay. Just to start off with, like I said, like you have mentioned also, I'm Nivedit G, also known as Macro Traveler. I'll get to the branding part of it.
It's a nice way to promote yourself. Very good. I understand. I'm learning from you.
Okay. So by profession, I've been a digital marketing guy and a brand consulting guy. So that's why you see lots of branding about me. I started blogging actually 12 years back. This is way back in 2008 when internet kind of just started getting there and mobility also just started moving and all of that. Mm-hmm. So I used to, this was during my college days. So I'm still young. So that's when people used to ask me that, why are you so much online on Facebook and Orkut? These were the initial Orkut and Facebook transition dates where people were asking me, why are you just online there? What will you do? I literally used to be online 24 hours. So, wow. And I was using quite a lot of phones and all of that. I've been more of a gadget and tech geek that time. So I thought, let me start sharing this information online for people who don't have access to it. So I started writing about Android and all that way back in 2008 on Orkut and Facebook. Then someone told me, why don't you document it on a website? So then I figured out we could create our own website and write a blog on that and all of that. So I started doing this, but this was more of a hobby like everyone else. And I finished my graduation, then joined a marketing job. I went into marketing and that's what I've been doing for almost 7-8 years. This is still, we'll jump directly to 2000.
This was all happening in Bangalore, where you belong, from where you belong, right?
I belong from Bangalore and this all happened in Bangalore. I'm a local Bangalorean kid. So that is why you have this IT and tech bug, which is there because it's known as the IT capital of India or Silicon Valley of India. So that's one of the reasons why I went into this stream. And then from this transition started happening. So I started writing quite often and I used to travel quite a lot. So I thought, let me document travel as well, because when I can write about tech, why not about travel? It's all about sharing your personal experiences.
Correct.
Then I started seeing traffic coming in. I started seeing people searching more. By then like internet started, like 3G, 4G, people started using more of internet and suggestions. Then you had Zomato, then you had TripAdvisor. So you had like an ecosystem built and I started being a part of it. So it just became a very smooth transition, though I started doing it more often. And then came a point when I was working in my last company as a social media head. I thought, okay, I'm not able to do things as much as I want to do, especially travel. I started getting a lot of opportunities to travel from brands and tourism boats. Lots of tourism boats started inviting me and all that. During weekdays, totally couldn't travel. You know how a full-time job is. So I thought, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's quit and start doing this as a full-time work. So I quit my job in 2015 and started doing this. I thought, let me travel for a living is my tagline. So I thought, let me do that. And that's when I also started a company called GV Media Tech. This was simultaneously because I'm not sure if I'll be able to sustain as a travel blogger or an influencer, because people said it's not sustainable. You do make money, but you may not make money like a regular salary. So I started a marketing company called GV Media Tech, where we were helping brands on marketing and influencer marketing, which me being on both the sides of the table as an influencer, and also I work with brands, so I kind of understand both the sides of the coin. So I thought, let me put my expertise there, and that's where I am now, right now.
Just to add on to your credits, I have a huge list of what all things you have done. So you start, as you mentioned, that you have already started in 2008. You're a food and travel blogger. You were a tech blogger earlier.
Yeah.
200 plus social media company. You have done campaign for so many brands. Yeah. Official blogger for so many different countries and so many different states. It makes sense. But what I want to know is, when you say that, travel, I quit my job, and there are a lot of people who would probably want to take that inspiration from you. And I keep asking this thing to all the possible, all the influencers I've been interacting with. It's a very expensive affair to give up on your job, especially when you have a family, when you have EMIs to pay. How much money do you make? And is it a good advice to tell people that quit your job and start traveling? So a lot of people actually love traveling and they would want to make money, especially now after lockdown. They would want to do that. So how much money does one make in all these things? Who knows, for a couple of years down the line, I might be a travel blogger.
Absolutely. You're already traveling for a living. So yeah, you get paid from the company as well to travel.
Yeah, but I'm a very bad writer, Nivedya.
But you're a great host and presenter. So that makes up for it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So tell me how it all started, and would you advise, and what kind of money do you make?
Okay. So I can actually give you numbers both ways, because like I said, I have companies. So I have influencers working with me as well. So I know what maybe the biggest guy in India or the biggest influencer make, and what an entry people do. So what happens basically, when I started also, I took the conscious and calculated risk, because I kind of became an established influencer by the time I quit my job. It wasn't that I was just getting into it as a as an influencer. People weren't new about people knew about me. I wasn't new into this industry, right? So it was almost 7 years since I've been doing this. So I kind of had started getting revenue. So I started almost getting 6-digit revenues every month by the time I quit. So I knew that, okay, it's going to work out. It's going to be, may not be as sustainable. I may not make every month, because it's also very seasonal, and it was just reaching up to that level. Like 5 years back, not many people knew what an influencer itself, and it started moving into transition of different social media platforms. So I started more on output Facebook, then moved to Twitter, then Instagram. Now you have TikTok, you have lots of other, so you'll also have to build in. You can't just be in one and get stagnated. So it becomes in fact now, like you also, I've started a YouTube channel. I've not been into videos and all that. I thought, okay, from writing, let me also start doing into YouTube and all that. So I also had to explore new waters and all of that. So it's not easy to make money, and it also depends on the current scenario. Like with the present scenario, especially the lockdown and all, the people are not getting jobs. Some people are getting laid off and all of that. So I would generally suggest do this as a part-time kind of experience or part-time hobby. Let it build, let people start recognizing you as influencer, brands start reaching out to you. That's when
how long does that take? How long does that take? If someone is consistent, how long does that take?
So maybe at the current scenario, if you take 2020, I don't think it should take more than 3 to 6 months. It was taking 5 times of it when you were doing earlier, like 2015 or 10. In fact, it was so tough in 2010 or 12 that brands didn't even know what are influencer marketing. Correct. They used to do only barter. So you can't make a living out of barter system. So, but now, yes, brands do understand. I know lots of influencers, even if you take the top YouTubers, they make almost 10 to 15 lakhs a month easily. So it can go to any limit. So it's all that it is possible, but you need to be consistent. Consistency is the biggest key in any industry.
I totally agree. I'm sorry, this is completely off the track, but I couldn't avoid the fact that there's a poster right behind you. Is that you with your wife? Is that your wedding picture?
Yes. So you mean the one on top
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
yeah.
one?
No. The one which is right up.
Okay, this one, right?
No, the one above. The one which
Above,
has
yes,
been
that's
framed.
our
Yeah.
wedding photo, and that's my creative for the wedding. So even the wedding was branded, so I made it like a Mr. and Mrs. Macro Traveler wedding. We got married last year, so this
So you
was
made
in.
money out of your wedding as well.
I did actually promote it quite a lot, so it did become a big news for one reason. I got married on the same day when the Ambani's son also got married. On Twitter, my hashtag was trending above him that day on that particular
Wow.
wedding.
Wow.
That came on news channels and all of that.
I'm calling you. I'm calling you after this interview. Okay, we need to talk. Okay, what's happening in the lockdown, dude? What's happening? What are you doing? What's your daily routine like?
So, like you mentioned, I think fitness has been something which I've been planning for years because being a traveler and being a vegetarian, though being a vegetarian, my lifestyle has been so vivid and so random because of traveling everywhere, time zones and all of that. I think last 5 years, this is the longest I've been in Bangalore or in home. I've not been in a
Nivid, how
single
many
place.
countries have you traveled? If I
So
may ask.
I've done exactly 30 countries right now, but I've done multiple country, like I've done the same country multiple times. So currently I've been doing more of projects because I think, like I said, it's all also, you will also have to work with brands and all of that. So lately been working with lots of travel and tourism boards. So that's where most of my time used to take, but I really regret not going to the airport for the last 2 months.
Ah, yeah, I know you're missing that, right? All right, moving on. A lot of your followers have sent me a lot of questions. Okay, so I'm kind of reading it in between, and I'm making the point to ask you all these questions. Okay, now I won't be able to ask you everything, but I'll try and make the most of it.
Sure.
Out of the 30 countries, what country would you highly recommend and why?
Okay. My personal favorite, I would say, is Egypt. Again, I have a story to it. I'll keep it very short because that was my last country and the only incomplete country I've done till date because this was in March. Again, that was during our first anniversary of our wedding. So both of us went to Egypt for the first time in March, mid of March, just before the lockdown started because this was way planned. We had planned it way earlier and the day we got to know things were getting worse. I had to cut short my trip by like almost a week. I was there for 3 days. I just did only Cairo and went to Giza and all of that. We had to cut short. I had to book my tickets immediately on March 10th. I had to return back to India. We were supposed to be there till March end. So that was one country I loved it, but I wanted to explore much more.
What do you think? What do you think? When after, what's the scenario on the international circuit? When do people start traveling international? Do you have any idea about it?
Yeah, so I've been talking to quite a lot of people on being on panelist and all of that. So what everyone is saying is, unless that is a vaccine, international travel is going to be
correct.
It's going to take time. It's not going to be easy. Even if you open up, it's going to be more on business travel. Leisure travel is going to take time because it's all mindset. Because even one person is affected anywhere, it can start spreading. And we saw how it worked. So they've already closed borders. So all I feel is domestic travel might pick up. Road trips will pick up. So these are something which trends people are suggesting, which is going to work well. And more of luxury and slow travel is going to do well rather than something which is on the go or backpacking. I think so anything which has more crowd or which is very intense is going to go down. People are going to take it easy. They don't want to travel too much. They want to be if they go to a place, they would want to stay in a luxury resort, just stay there, kind of regenerate and all of that. So I think that is something which is going to pick up more because people want to be safe, hygiene place and healthy and all of that. So health is going to be the main differentiator. Even social distancing is going to be there everywhere. I think that's going to be the new normal everywhere, right? So be it airport as well, we have started seeing people are putting photos where in airport you can't wait in the security. It's going to be that you'll be called by numbers, and even in flights you have to wear a mask and all of that. So I think all this is going to affect travel. So it's going to take some time, but I think at least till the end of the year, people are not going to travel for leisure. Even
that's what I think. Nivid, straight away coming to the point. How do you plan to travel after lockdown? What is going on in your mind? What is it? What is it you want to promote? What is it you want to get associated with? You tell me this, and then I'll move on to how you plan to engage your audience and create what kind of content you plan to create. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. One of the reasons none of us know when this lockdown or when we'll get back to normal. So it can take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. But whenever it happens, I'm obviously raring to go. Like I said, I think I would want to go back to Egypt. That is going to be my first destination. But content wise, I want to make it a little more different. I've been working on different kinds of content and strategies now. So the way I'm looking, one of the things I've done during lockdown is I've started working more on video content. So I'm going to focus more, I think, more on video content, YouTube and all of that. And now that I've also kind of started working on my fitness, so I want to use that element of how to be fit when you travel, because I think I can see a very different change going from triple XL size to now almost this is an L size shirt. So I've literally gone 4 sizes down. So I would want to try to integrate both. Obviously, I'm not a fashion blogger, but at least wanted to talk more on the fitness and maybe some elements of fashion, so that I also kind of broaden my horizon. And obviously, that way you get more business. So that is what I'm looking forward. Maybe that's my goal for next couple of years, to move into that level of travel and fitness together.
Okay. With Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, now TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. Are you?
So I'm on TikTok, but to be very honest, my kind of genre doesn't work well on TikTok. Travel people
Correct.
don't go to find travel content. It's more of comedy or that kind of satire kind of content which works better.
Correct.
So and also when it comes to social media, I think you should stick to one or two primary channels, and you should have presence everywhere. I have a presence, but I'm not like big on TikTok.
I want to understand the ecosystem, what the whole social media thing is happening, and how one, if for example, if I plan to, if I decide that I want to make my social media strong, I want to increase the number, I want to give them value to the content, how do I do that? What do I have to do? Tell me step by step in absolutely layman's term, okay? Because I am not from Bangalore, I'm not a techie. Tell me what one needs to do who doesn't have much numbers, and who wants to be seen and heard, and who wants to show something which is unusual. Share probably some stories about him. How one needs to start? What is that first step one needs to do, and where that person needs to go with so many social media portals?
Absolutely. So in fact, I just did a seminar for a college in Bangalore a couple of days back, where they asked, how do I become an influencer? Because all college kids also wanted to know how to become an influencer. So I think first basics, anyone, they have to understand about the platforms. I think that is the biggest requirement of understanding. So like you said, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you also all have to understand what you like. First thing, it's all about knowing. So you might be good at something, you may not be good in something. For example, I like traveling, but I may not be good in taking videos or photography or editing. I may not be good in everything. So you'll have to understand your strengths and weakness, start working on it. And like you said, on layman's term, if I say all you need to do is start putting content, but you will also have to build a niche in that. If it's travel, you'll have to go into a next level of, in that travel, what can I do? So I do more of luxury travel. That is my segment. Because travel is very broad horizon. So I do a part of it. There are people who do backpacking. There are solo travelers, couple travelers. So you have family travel. So each of them cater to a different set of audience. You don't need to cater to the broad audience, because once you say I do everything, then you lose the game out there, because that there are so many people who do that. But you will also have to start building your niche. You have to build your small category, saying, okay, I do luxury. People will come to you, or people come to Macro Traveler to know that, okay, he does luxury travel. He travels in business class. If I want to know about the best 5-star hotels, I will go to his blog. So that is what you need to build, that mindset, which is what I've been constantly doing. And content, you'll have, so content works different for different platforms, because the people who are there, like for example, even if it's your friends or family, not everyone would be in all platforms, right? You will see older segment being on Facebook, your parents or your aunt, uncle, all of them will be on Facebook. But you will see little younger crowd on Instagram, and little more intellectual people on Twitter who will just be tweeting about all random stuff, and kids on TikTok and Snapchat. So this is what you need to understand, that different people are in different platforms. So you'll have to create content for that particular platform on that. Like it has to be content which they understand and feel personal. It's all about that connect. If I can connect to you in a very personal level, then that's all it works. And now, like I said, platform is, there is no organic reach nowadays. It's not that you go viral, like maybe the winking girl and all of that, they become viral, or the dancing uncle, but not every content becomes viral, right? So what happens is the platform is built that way. So platform doesn't push content. They basically want you to push ads. They want you to pay for the post or content. So you also have to figure out how do you want to. So there are some good content you feel is good. You start putting some money, promote it, reach out to the audiences you feel. So if you say, I want to reach out to like a Tamil audience, like I said, I would target Tamil Nadu and that particular segment. So they will start seeing. So that also has to work. So it's very important. You need to understand your audience and work on it. I think that's the basic.
You need to understand your audience. What's your take on sustainable tourism? How do you travel, and why one should travel India before traveling anywhere else in the world? Why one needs to understand his home grounds first?
Absolutely. So in fact, I've also done the other way around. I've been traveling everywhere across the globe. And then in the last 2 years, I've taken considerable decisions to do more of personal travel and also work-wise with both local tourism boards and India tourism as well, Tourism of India. So one of the main reasons, being in luxury segment, I work with quite a lot of brands which actually promote green or eco-friendly tourism. Like I'm one of the brand ambassadors for ITC hotels, which always talk about green, being sustainable and green hotels and all of that, because they do everything around the whole sustainable tourism. So I wouldn't want to talk in detail about them because it's too much to talk about. But on a personal level, I also do that when I go to even places. Okay, let me give you an example of a travel I did recently. So a year back, I did a road trip from Bangalore to Bhutan. So I almost covered half of India from Bangalore, from south till Bhutan. So I did around a month of road trip, only 2 of us in a car. So what I did is, in that trip, I started talking about different cultures, and also when you're traveling, how do you not leave carbon footprint and all of that. So I was talking about how you have to be sustainable and you leave the nature for others to enjoy. And in India, it's so diverse. I think every 200 kilometers, I saw the country changing. Its people are different, culture, food, tradition, everything varies. In fact, Northeast, I have not experienced so much. I think in the starting of this year, I was invited to Assam and Meghalaya recently by the tourism boards there. And the time I had there for 15 days, I think it was brilliant. I think that we have better places than any of the places across the globe. It's just that people don't know about it and it's not being promoted well, or it doesn't reach out to the audiences properly. So that, I think we'll have to do that kind of promotion, and we'll also talk about it and how it can help both ways, that you help the local community there. Because when I travel there, especially in Northeast, you have a lot of tribes. So once you start going there and tourism builds, you also help the local economy and the local community there, tribes there. So they have also started coming up with homestays. So you can stay with the tribal people and tribes there. So that helps them also. So it's both way around, giving it back to the society.
Yeah, so you promote that. That's what he's saying, right?
Yes, I've been working on that.
Okay. You also are a food traveler, blogger, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now I can probably connect.
So I do obviously explore the food aspects of it when I travel. Yeah, more of lifestyle part of it. Yeah.
Okay. So what's your favorite dish like? I'm a food anchor, so food connects with me, and I can speak about it for days. What's your favorite cuisine in India, if I may ask?
So me being a vegetarian,
please don't say idli, vada, and all those things. Be more diverse.
I was just coming there. Unfortunately, being a vegetarian, I prefer my South Indian food. So, but I like exploring all types of cuisines. And personally, I like more of Punjabi food and all of that. Lots of butter. And
Punjabi food is not recommended to you while you're losing your weight
not now. Yes, I know.
You know what we would be we would enjoy to watch is how you lost your weight in this 40 odd days, but not 14 weeks, you said, right? That is something that can probably
3 months. Yeah, you can take it as
what happens is we have seen such videos where people go from 100 kgs to 60 kgs, But when an influencer people have been watching and following, when a known face does something like that, it creates a lot of motivation for sure.
Yes,
Okay.
that's one of the reasons why, because I've tried this earlier as well in the past, been failing it miserably for the last 10 years. I thought, okay, this is the right time. And more than doing for anyone else, I thought I had to do it for myself, for my well-being. And from 126.6 kgs, I've come to 93 now.
Now that the lockdown has extended, would you recommend something to our viewers who are all watching? What is that one thing they need to do? For example, I'm polishing my skills in different languages. I've taken a course in digital marketing, so I'm learning. I'm making the most of it. I'm speaking to people like you, getting inspired. Nivid, what is that one thing you would always cherish? One thing you feel like after working for so many years, one thing this is ultimately defined me. What is that one moment for you?
So I think the epitome of my whole lifestyle as a blogger or influencer was when I was invited for the Oscars. I was the only blogger to be invited in 2018, all the way from Los Angeles. That was my second trip to US. When I went 2 years back, when I walked by the Walk of Fame, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I was like, someday I should go here. And exactly in 2 years, I got a call. I don't know how they found me. The process was very stringent. 3 months before the invite, I had a FBI verification. They had to call, verify every guest who comes. We had 2 months of stringent verification to make sure everyone is clean and all of that. It was brilliant interacting with the celebrities and once in a lifetime experience.
I feel you, brother. I feel you. Amazing. What an accomplishment. Great, great. Many more to come. So I have a couple of questions for you. This will be in the next segment. And I'm going to ask you, you need to give me your top 3 names or whatever comes in your mind. So I'm going to give you a certain, which is your favorite, blah, blah, blah. And then you need to give me 3 options, okay? Which is starting from the third, second, and the best. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So top 3. Okay. We call this game as top 3. Are you ready for this, Nivid?
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. Let's start. The first question is beach destination. You need to give me your top 3 beach destination.
3, 2, 1. So 3 would be Philippines, Mauritius, Maldives. Number 1 is Maldives.
Maldives. You went for your honeymoon?
Absolutely.
How many honeymoons did you do? You just said I went for a honeymoon in Egypt. Oh my goodness, that's the life of a traveler.
No, that was my
you can do as many honeymoons as possible. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You're going through economic crisis. Stop honeymooning. Okay, adventure sports you have tried or want to try. Top 3. Starting from 3 and finishing on 1.
Okay. What I've tried, I would say, skating I want to do, then parasailing, and this I've tried, and bungee jumping I've done.
Was it scary, bungee jumping?
Oh, actually it wasn't. People thought it was scary, and I did it at the highest bungee jump in Macau. It's around 63 floors. It looked initially very scary. I just closed my eyes and leaped. So yeah.
Wow. I thought it was very scary.
It just takes 4 seconds to reach down, by the way. I was like, by the time I opened my eyes, I was at the bottom.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
I still remember the moment when I was standing on the edge, and it felt like, you need to take a leap of faith, and that air, and I have vertigo issues, right?
Oh,
so I could feel the air, and I could feel the urine in my pants.
And you can feel the earth moving down, like you feel that you're going to just fall off.
When I jumped for 2 seconds, I thought my life's gone. I am dead. Free fall, especially that free fall. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
But when did you do that, Rohan?
Yeah. Oof. Favorite dishes?
Okay. I will start with chole bhature, then dosa, and then momos.
Momos is your ultimate favorite?
Yeah, any day. My comfort food.
No, you should. If you ever go to Taiwan or Taipei, to be more precise, there's this restaurant called as Din Tai Fung. Okay, they are known for their dumplings. It's the best I've ever tasted. Din Tai Fung.
I've been to Taiwan, but I haven't been to the place. Next trip.
So this one here is in Taipei 101, the tall building.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the ground floor. Yeah, Din Tai Fung. They do have a lot of other branches also. But please, if you like dumplings, please go for it.
I will do.
Travelers apart from you, who are your favorite? And calling my name is mandatory.
I'll put it on number one so that
Arey
you give
baapre,
me good.
you just give me your favorite travelers.
Uh, Favorite travelers. Okay, I would say Mumbai Ka Nikhil, another YouTuber friend I've
Why
traveled with.
you say that he's very catchy? Also give me that why.
Okay, I would say, see, he's one of my inspiration why I got into YouTube, like why I got into
Okay.
YouTubing as such, because I traveled with him as a blogger. I was the only blogger when we went with Macau again. That's why
Okay.
we did bungee jumping, both of us. So the kind of content he creates and the way he has connect with people, I think it's really marvelous. One of the very few people who can do that with all the influences I've worked with. And second would be again my inspiration and mentor, who's a blogger called Rish Tota or Dempe. He's been blogging for 20 years now, since 2000. So he's also, we almost go on the same lines of how we have been tech bloggers, again from Bangalore. So I would take him. And third, I would say Sehnaz Treasury-wala. So she's doing a great job. We have also worked together. We have traveled and worked together. So yes.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Destination you want to visit. You want to. You haven't. You want to visit. Top three.
Yes. I think I would want to go to New Zealand. I've not been there, so that's always been. I've gone till down under. I've not gone to New Zealand yet, so I would want to go to New Zealand. That's been
Two more.
on
Two
my.
more.
Oh, yeah, three, right? Okay. Other one, I think I would say Antarctica. That's always been on my checklist. I think I don't know, even before I started traveling. I don't know why. I just kind of like it. South America for sure. The whole continent. In fact, I want to do a road trip that has been on my cards. I've done a road trip the whole of North America, both East Coast, West Coast. I want to do one in South America.
I think everybody born in the 80s or 90s, everybody is, fascinated with Motorcycle Diaries and Che Guevara, and everybody wants to do that road trip in South America.
Absolutely.
Okay, destination you have visited. Top three.
Okay. I would say I'll go from one, Maldives first. Second, I would say as America, US.
Which part of US?
I would say West Coast.
West Coast.
Los Angeles, yeah. I kind of like SFO and Los Angeles. California, I'll put it California. I think that's easier. And then what else would I would say Philippines. Again, I'm more of a water boy, so beach guy. So I would prefer. That's why Maldives and Philippines.
Oh, okay. And of course, honeymoon makes sense.
Yes.
What are your three travel essentials?
I'm known as the wireman or gadget guy who has seen me traveling, because I carry more than 10 kgs of only cables and wires and batteries to charge my stuff. So I think I would go first with my DSLR, then a battery bank, and third would be maybe now I would obviously have a mask and a hand sanitizer. That's going to be my travel.
Yeah. My final question is going to be goals to achieve after the lockdown ends.
Okay. Goals to achieve. I think get back to my travel routine. Other than that,
I don't think the domestic travel is going to be open immediately after the lockdown. So how do you plan to go about it?
Yeah. So I feel travel is going to take time, both domestic, international. International not in 2020 for sure. Domestic maybe September, October is what I'm hearing from sources. I'm not sure as well. It's a very vague number. But once lockdown, so for example, I'm in Bangalore. It's kind of already kind of free. So some 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. you can go out. There is no restriction other than going to the containment zone. So I do rides every day, at least just to get a new atmosphere outside. But I think I'm creating content from the place where I am. So like one of the things I've been doing is take sunrise and sunset time lapse every single day, and I'm putting it on my social media so that you can create content wherever you are. That's what I want to convey nowadays. So that's something I wanted to continue working as well, wherever I am.
Okay. Navit, I'm going to wrap this interview asking a very important question. How do you manage to keep yourself groomed? Because all the time during this interview, I'm watching myself, my hair is going here, and I'm trying to set things up, and it's so crazy. How do you plan? I mean, who is giving you the hair trim, and how you're clean shaved, nice, civilized? Bangalorean boy, look at this.
I didn't know it's going to be a video interview, or I wouldn't just shade. I preferred my beard. In fact, I did have a beard. I just trimmed it yesterday so that I could look like a kid or a college kid now.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it all myself. Yeah, just
Very
walking
good.
around. Yes.
Very good. And you know what? Maybe, you know, I can ask you for a couple of helps. I'll get in touch with you, and maybe we can collaborate and, you know, something to do with Travel XP also. But thank you so much talking with us. It was a complete pleasure. And what a wonderful person you are in terms of knowledge, in terms of mindset, and in terms of strength here also. Okay. So continue to be the person you are. Keep inspiring us, and keep losing weight. And it's high time you need to be a non-vegetarian.
Catch up soon in Mumbai or Bangalore. Whenever we cross roads, we shall catch up soon.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you now. Okay, so I'm going to watch you.
Yes,
I'm going to watch your time lapses.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Lovely talking to you. Thank you, Navid. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.